Alright. Attempt number 2, PlayStation. We have arrived for the season finale here in the ARC GT3 Championship. And the final 2 rounds will come to us from Spa. Who was the first person to start the lap? I wasn't paying any attention at all. Oh, it was Jan Torres in the Boatley. Delayed start as the whole share function of the PlayStation just decided that it didn't like me, so I had to restart the stream. It'll probably look dumb on the ARC page later, but oh well. Yeah, the season finale has finally arrived. It's been 12 weeks, it feels like 30. I don't know why, but it does.
For the final time this season, as I will be going back to full-time regular series racing on Monday nights, I'm also here.
And you sound very not awake. So, I was literally about to say, I guess you ought to down a can of Mountain Dew or something and get some stimulation in your body so you don't sound like a zombie over the mic.
Yep, it's Spa. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest track we go to this season.
Yeah, because GT3 didn't, I don't think GT3 did Le Mans. No, we did, or they did. I didn't commentate it because I was sick that week, but it did happen. So no, second biggest. Definitely 12 of the ARC drivers of all time. And Jan Torres will be the first among them to run a qualifying lap that is like representative. Stotts is 2:33.2 up there is not lap, so I don't know why the game just randomly decides it feels like counting those. I'll never understand. Oh, I didn't know there was actually a rhyme or reason. I just figured the game was just like, I just kind of feel like it, you know, just for the joke. So the first representative lap of the session, Jan Torres will cross the finish and run a 2:19.7. And now he'll barely have enough time to get back around and run another lap. So Hanek runs a 2:21.6. Luke Allen is spinning through the grass, but he's going to at least not hit anything. I don't know if resetting to the pit is the best idea. The session is so darn short. Most people aren't going to have enough time to get around for another... Well, no, they get around for another lap. They won't get 2. It takes 3 minutes to do an outlap here, so... Here comes Jurgensmeyer to finish his lap. That is a 2:23.4. There's quite a skill gap here at the moment. Fidel Fabian with a 2:25.2. Why do you say that way? No, I think this is an outlap. Safe to say. Yeah, apparently I've been saying his name wrong, and it took him 22 rounds to, like, correct that. I don't know how. I guess you just never paid any attention to the streams before. Loser. The 2:19.7 still stands at the top of the board. Matthew Daly's 2:20.3 was certainly closer to the mark, but it still doesn't topple the Bentley's initial run. But AJ Knickel, I'm sure, is going to be one of those drivers that can probably get near it. Probably run a 2:16 if he stays on the racetrack. I think because it was more of a bus stop in the previous Spa configuration. He does not take pole. 19.98 is just shy of just over 2/10 off. So Torres' lap still stands at the top of the list. I think Jamie Wright's coming up to finish this lap. As he abuses his engine running at the rev limiter up towards the chicane. I'm thinking that was an outlap. Stott's also the 221.6 in the background. Fidel improves to 220.3, 5 thousandths off Matthew Daly. Jurgensmeyer makes it 21 and 3/4. So we found where the middle ground is, and you just kind of, when you run a lap, you just gotta have to kind of be in that 20-21 range to be competitive, it seems like. Questionable truck limits being taken from Travis Van Dorp as Luke Allen has spun again, and he will not be getting a qualifying lap set in the remaining minute and 11 seconds here in qualifying. Or lack thereof. Dylan, fine, I just noticed Matthew Daly has defeated Jan Torres's 219.7, a 219.444. How appropriate for Team 44R. Torres is on the track and looking to contest that. AJ is, I think he backed out of his previous lap. He's going to have 30 seconds, so he's going to have enough time to go back around and try once again. Fidel Fabian's session is done. I don't know where he's going. There he goes. That was weird looking, I'm not going to lie. He'll cross in time, and he'll be the final one to watch complete the session. Try to get an idea of who's where on the racetrack. Who's that car coming up to? Connor Hannick's about to finish here. Don't think Connor Hannick has approved if that was even a lap to begin with. Dylan Bam, Bomb, Bum, whatever, goes to the top of the board. 5 thousandths over Matthew Daly. 19.439. And Matthew Daly can't beat it because his lap is already completed. Torres is heading through the S's, and he will be one of the first to try. Jurgensmeyer improves to a 20.1, toppling his teammate Fidel Fabian. AJ appears to be going through, I think that's Rivage. I know most of the corner names, not that one. Well, this is Puhan that Pinnacle is going through at the moment. There's Billy Targi, so that's not at the bus stop, but they will be finishing their lap shortly. Whoever it was, their lap time did not change. I was staring at the leaderboard, nothing moved. Targi will cross, and no improvement from Nancy there. Barely keeps in the track limits through Blanchimont, and he has just the chicane to navigate. He has to find basically 5.5 tenths to take pole position away from the Lamborghini. Survey says yes. 2:19, I think that was a 2. Gives AJ Knickel, who already won the championship 2 weeks ago, another pole position. Yeah, I expect this to feel like an F1 race. We're just going to be watching the battle for third, because I'm sure... Well, it'll end up being the battle for second when DIVEBOMB spins, but... AJ is going to probably...
Apparently Dylan's actually reporting that he fixed that car's issues, actually.
Day late and a dollar short. Probably could have used that a handful of weeks ago. Then again, I feel like he's also said that before.
Well, we learned what the issue was after Silverstone.
Yeah, it was that Dylan was making the setups when your replacement ran the default setup and really dragged it to a podium. So,
I think he did get a podium.
even more so. So, yeah. A quick rundown of the full running order for the sprint race. The pole sitter will be AJ Knickel over Dylan Bam, I guess. I don't know how AU makes an A sound. It should be Baum or Baum. Matthew Daly, Jan Torres, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Matthew Stotts, Fidel Fabian, Travis Van Oostendorp, Connor Hannock, Jamie Wright, Billy Targi, and Luke Allen rounds out the grid with 0 qualifying laps. I hear the engines roaring. Yep, we're syncing up. We're about to go green here for the final sprint race of the GT3 championship. And this time it's actually Fidel Fabian that gets away really well. He gets the jump even on Stotts and the other Renaults. Renaults? There's only one other Renault rigger. But he's kind of closed off at the apex, so he can't really take that momentum too far. Now, AJ warned everybody about that pretty diligently before the race, so I'd hope not. And always a bit of a first lap understeer there. Even AJ got a bit, and Dylan is going to look for a pass on the outside of the AMG. The headlight's on for extra power, but it doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter. It does. He manages to become the inside lane. Bit of bumper lag or something there, but Dylan Bum, whatever, is the new race leader. Matthew Daly trying to keep Stotts at bay, heading down the hill. Actually, I think this is Roussel, now that I think about it. And this is Rivage. All these French names. Oh, interesting track limits being used by Travis and Fidel back there. I don't really know what the game stewards are going to say about that one. Matthew Torres. Oh boy. Bit of argy-bargy. Torres trying to find a way back ahead of Matthew Slots, as I saw some typo not long ago. But now it's mostly single file already. And by that I mean actually like entirely single file, except for Connor Hannock, who took a bit extra Stavlo there. If it's gray, it's okay, but oh my word, I don't think it's that okay. Torres also using a little bit of extra racetrack. Track limits just seem optional at this moment. Fidel Fabian is going to capitalize on Torres' missed bus stop. He gets ahead, and oh, that's a big whack as Fidel parks the bus on the apex to make the move stick. And Torres tried to cross over into nothing. Let's see if any rear damage was obtained by that might hinder Fidel's car control. It's kind of looking like it is the way he just took Eau Rouge, but then again, everybody seems just to have problems. Travis Van Oostendorp will take that spot away following a much better run through Radion. Yeah, no, I think Fidel does have some kind of damage because he was very slow, or he had a slowdown. I don't know how in the name of God he had a slowdown and nobody else did, though, so... It's like 2/3 of the field just extended there. I don't really see how it was any different for him. And... Connor Hennick. There's only 3 of them. It's not like we're in 2017 where half the grid was Ferrari. Fidel and Hennick continue to fight it out for 7th place back here as the other Ferraris are making some new track limits. Now, AJ has made a mistake. He's fallen down the order. And he's sitting back in 9th now. Now he's been overtaken by Luke Allen, who's, well, obviously able to show pace now that he's able to finish a lap or two. Now he's been overtaken by AJ, who just clobbered Luke Allen at the apex of La Source in an attempt to, I think, outbrake Fidel. I'm sure that'll be fun in the admin chat later. I don't know why do you hear Eurobeat. Best car that probably has a bunch of damage, though, from driving right through a Ferrari a minute ago. Oh, we didn't need those cones anyway. Yeah, I think that was Jamie that just knocked those out. Matthew versus Matthew. Until he spins through Puhan or something next lap. No, I don't have any confidence in this car. Or maybe it's going to be Matthew Daly that loses it. Stotts makes a very quick avoiding action. I certainly wouldn't react to that in time. I think he probably knew it was coming. And just like that, Team 44R is largely in shambles. This would be interesting if they didn't already have the Teams Championship locked up. Instead of just kind of like, oh, well, alright, that happened. But there's hardly anything at stake. And the most that's really done is just blown the door wide open for somebody else to win. Even though all of the other wins this season have gone to the 2 cars that are 1 and 2 right now anyway, so... Matthew Stotts with a very unique line on the exit of the chicane. I'm sure I've seen that one before. He was never that far behind Luke Allen, and then Jamie Wright, and then his teammate who spun, as we saw. Jamie Wright with the unique line through La Source. Jan Torres is in a Renault sandwich. It's right here, mostly. Travis seems to be better in the corners that don't provide him a passing opportunity afterward. He can get a good run out of Rivage as much as he wants, but Puhan is not a place you want to pass. Especially not when trying to pass something as big as this Bentley. As Dylan has conceived an 8-second lead, which is a lot for not being AJ. I don't really know if AJ does things that way. He's not you. Although, based on the distance between Billy and Juergensmeyer, you may not have a choice in the matter anyway. As a barring, like, unforeseen circumstances anyway. That's what put AJ back here in the first place, as he's majorly understeers through Eau Rouge, and that gives Tarji quite a bit of breathing room up there. Oh, Jen Torres just runs Matthew Stotts out of room. I saw the splits get very close, and that's a takedown that also collects to Matthew Stotts' teammate in the mess. And Hannick with expert dodging skills. Oh, it's not done. Torres just cuts back across the track with his eyes closed and hopes for the best. And Fidel Fabian gets clobbered as a result of that. Yeah, I would say, because that's put Torres down there in that battle for the reverse grid pole now instead. As he will attempt to keep his broken, beaten, scarred Bentley ahead of AJ Knickel, and that's an effort that doesn't seem to have produced a whole lot up to this point, as, yeah, AJ's now in 8th position. And something tells me Torres' car has way too much damage to try and fight back for it. Yeah, kind of saw the tail end of that, but I think that was just a case of Torres ran Stotts out of room, and that really made it so he couldn't really do anything else on that racing line. And I'm sure Stotts probably doesn't feel too much guilt considering how he was raced in the previous corner. And now Connor Hannick is looking for P2 against the Renault driver. He's going to sneak on the outside, and that's just not going to work. It's hard to really pick out a common denominator because Torres and Stotts have been the orchestrator of multiple incidents apiece this season, so it's hard to say, who's the bad apple when nobody is innocent. And Travis Van Oostendorp just got dusted by Juergensmeyer heading up towards Eau Rouge. I suppose his car is also pretty busted up since he had nowhere to go to avoid the incident caused by his own teammate. But even still, an almighty run out of Eau Rouge lets him stay kinda near the Mercedes. No, what do you know? AJ didn't actually stay in 8th either. Because it looks as though... What happened? Oh, Matthew Daly got ahead of Torres. Oh, he's continuing to run wide. I think the grass just grabbed him and pulled him away. So now Torres is in that position. Oh, because Fidel Fabian probably spun, it looks like. He was further up than that, and his car is, destroyed. Hannick is missing that. There he is.
From second place.
And now, just as quickly, he's not even in the top 8 anymore, so he got greedy, he wanted more points, and we'll never know until post-race if Stotts had anything to do with that spin, or if Hanek just went too far for too much. But
The first time this season or this race that stuff is in the bumper to somebody.
yeah, we'll never know until, well, later. We won't know during this broadcast. What we do know is that DIVEBOMB has basically won this race. He's got a 21-second lead almost. God, even if he did, he would probably have time to get it back going again before he got caught. So now it is John Jurgensmeyer's turn. I don't think he likes when people call him that. To attempt to take second place away from the yellow submarine up there. Or does Jurgensmeyer learn from what he's witnessed thus far and just decide, you know what, third place is good for me, I value my life. He isn't making enough of a run. His setup must have some decently high wings. We have a race retirement. I believe that would be... who was that? Oh, it's... no, it's... Whomst? Oh, Travis was the DNF.
Travis was running fourth.
Was. Not really sure what has happened. Kind of missed it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what happened too.
'Cause I know Travis has been having run-ins with both Stotts and AJ, but his car was running okay enough. He should have been able to stay in the top 8 with the way that it looked coming off of the incident, but I guess not. But
And three bus stop for the final time in the sprint race. The final sprint race of the season will go to Dylan Bam in the 69 Lamborghini.
he finally,
23 seconds.
yeah, might have topped AJ's record for margin of victory at the very least. Jurgensmeyer still has a chance at P2 here, and he's picking lane after lane, but oh, he's gonna try the outside. Jurgensmeyer, I think, will win it. Yeah, Jurgensmeyer is gonna take P2 at the 11th hour. Matthew also had a penalty, and there's been murder.
And AJ's gonna go from last at one point to finish on the podium.
Recovery from both of 44 Hours drivers as Matthew Daly also gets 4th, and I think they were trying to play with the funny pit wall, but nobody went to space. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember after LMP3's last year, I just spent an entire afternoon in a private testing session just throwing the LMP3 at the pit wall and seeing what happened.
Also, nobody goes to space. We already blew our budget filing more paperwork with the FAA after last week's incident.
The FAA.
Because we had a car go flying.
Anyway, so depending on, well, actually, yeah, those are all 1 or 2 second penalties, so I suppose they would be capped, except for Matthew Stotts, who got a lot of something. He got a 30-second. That might not stick, so we'll have to see what the game does, or I guess rather what everyone else does about that, but Yeah, Dylan wins the sprint over Juergensmeyer. Unofficially, AJ third, Daly fourth, Allen fifth after a miserable qualifying session. Manages to turn it around and turn it into points. And now we just get to wait until the feature race starts to actually figure out what the grid order will be. Doesn't necessarily seem like there's any conversation going on in the PC2 chat right now. Or anywhere else.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what's all up on the schedule for us this week because there's no F1 on Friday, and I believe the final live stream race of this week will be Rallycross tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the Hockenheim Ring Rallycross.
I am not racing that. No, thank you.
Yeah, we don't need you running anybody else. Oh, Carter Ritchie has joined us late, so he'll be running the feature race.
Lucky 13. Oh, we do have something. Saving us in the chat. What's the quote about history repeats itself?
I believe that is the quote, Fidel. If we do not learn from the past, we are doomed to repeat it, I think.
Yeah.
And Christ knows Fidel does not learn from the past.
Just avoid the yellow banana cars. I would say they are the safety cars, but more like danger cars at this point.
It's like rule in nature is the bright colored animals are meant to signify that they are venomous or otherwise dangerous prey. So no wonder those cars are bright yellow.
So, here we are. Final race of the season.
I'm gonna quickly change the audio mix while we're waiting so the game can be heard. Because I don't remember what I had that set on last week.
Somebody, I believe, has left.
It's Travis again. Huh.
Well,
You know, this would actually be an almost believable starting grid on its own. Minus where Stotts starts.
literally.
I think if you flipped where Juergensmeyer and Stotts were, this would actually be a believable starting grid.
And also move things back a little.
And we probably have him switch with Matthew Daly, who's starting in 10th.
Yeah, but here we are.
We're at the final race of the season. Now we can actually see where Travis was supposed to be. He was supposed to be on the front row, which would also be believable. Two hours later.
Anyway, let's see what about the Rallycross. It's in the week of Easter completely off before Art's back for historic F1.
That'll be an interesting thing to commentate. It'll be like a cross between F1 and Project Cars.
Yep, there's 3 different cars across 3 different weeks at 6 different historic tracks. For taking very old cars around historic spots.
Well, at least with only 12 drivers, getting the feature grid orchestrated should be a lot quicker. Now it's going to be like a 20-minute 20-minute pace lap. 20-minute pole lap. What is this? The Isle of Man? So it seems as though that penalty from Stotts was ignored, as he still starts in P6. So as a rundown of the official grid order, we have, and I'm waiting for them to actually get closer to the darn camera. I think we're actually doing 70 on the pace lap to expedite things here. Jamie Wright will have the feature race pole over Jen Torres, Luke Allen, Matthew Daly, AJ Knickel, Matthew Stotts, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Dylan Bam, Billy Tarji, Fidel Fabian, Connor Hannick, and our late arrival in the form of Carter Ritchie will start in last since he didn't run the sprint race. Oof. That's all I can say on that one. Just oof. And we're even kicking up almost to 80 miles an hour to get this pace lap over with. My word. At this point, just go from out of Stavlo 2. Just have the Blanchimont be the first corner, because that definitely won't have dramatic consequences. And go. So was the actual first corner, to be fair. I don't want to remember that race. Anyway, changing the subject quickly, we are about to reach the start-finish line, and Jamie can basically go whenever he wants from here. And he'd be wise to do so as soon as he's able to, and that's precisely what he does to create maximum chaos in the back of the grid. Well, that's the easy corner. That's the wide one. It only gets worse from here. As we head up the looming titan that is Eau Rouge. As Lenny Kinnickle got a bit of understeer, so did Matthew Stotts. Daly's going to put his teammate under pressure. Meanwhile, Jan Torres will grab the lead away from, well, a pair of Ferraris. And Matthew Daly with a huge send down the inside of his teammate and runs him right out of space, as a matter of fact. AJ was required to concede there. I don't know. He's made a through goes Hamilton moment on the 44 Mercedes. Team 44 Mercedes. There is no 44 car. And he's up into fourth. AJ collects some grass. Man, Stotts is really trying to redesign this racetrack, isn't he? Jamie Wright also doing the same, as Luke Allen attempts to stick with the Bentley. He's not doing the greatest job. The backstretch is not suited well for his car's setup, apparently. AJ thought about the outside of Dillon, but the door was closed. And Jamie Wright's going to kind of mess up Blanchimont, which gives Dillon a perfect chance to capitalize. Just a matter of can he. And it looks like he can just about. He slide jobs the 53, and he'll be on his merry way. It's set up, excuse me. As AJ sneaks down the inside of the source. Looks like Stotts tried to do the same on the exit. I don't think he's really going to get a chance, though. Everyone's nice and single file headed up Eau Rouge, it looks like. Or at least close enough to. Yeah, basically. Fidel Fabian with the absolute worst just insult to the corner that is Eau Rouge like ever, and Carter Ritchie will take full advantage. Fidel will block Billy Targi off though. Oh, they make big collision. Yep, me make good English sentences. Spinning, I think. Teammates almost wrecking each other behind. Oh dear God, that's a lot of damage. That is Jamie Wright and AJ Knickel. AJ's car looks like it just went through a can opener. Oh my God, yeah, these things look like road cars now. Holy crap. I think that is a yellow flag. Yeah. How does a crash like that happen there, of all places, anyway? And mandatories won't count on this lap, as we've only done 2 green laps. Nonetheless, there will certainly be cars pitting for this, whether they want or not. Yeah, no, no, just stop. It doesn't count. We've done 2 green laps. Save you the aneurysm. Doesn't count. They don't pay us. And apparently Fidel Fabian is also pitting. Don't remember him being involved in that crash, so... He certainly had a whole lot less at the very least, because he's out of the pits well before the other three that got absolutely bushwhacked. Because why not? Oh, the Weaving Maniac's not on the racetrack, so... Yeah, his apt description that his car went through a can crusher, pretty much. He borrowed the one that Jake used to reserve in at Daytona.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure AJ is going to be there in time, so we should be going green this lap. Yeah, we're going to be growing green.
No, I think we may have had an incident under caution. Yeah, two cars might have had a little bit of a incident.
Yeah, because I'm seeing Matthew Daly's car once again has been removed of its wing privileges, and I guess they're both going around to pit. I don't know. I almost begin to wonder if there was some sort of retaliation done under caution. It wouldn't fully surprise me, because we didn't see the nature of the crash that gave all those cars this damage. Should be lucky he doesn't have to take Eau Rouge with this car in this state. That would be a real fun time. Not. And it won't help too much when you got to take every corner 30 miles an hour slower to avoid going off into the great skating rink in the sky. I'm going to use this caution to turn up your mic a little bit, because you are quiet on my end a little bit, which seems weird to say about you. I sometimes can't hear you over the cars on certain camera angles. Somebody is out of the race. And it's Jamie.
Oh. The only thing I can think of happening is maybe Jamie did retaliate, and I think he could have got hurt.
Probably, maybe. I don't want to say probably, but... Oh, who am I kidding? Probably.
At least that's my guess.
I know I'm supposed to be professional as a commentator, but probably.
Well, there's nothing professional with looking at a theory of what happened and making it into something.
Yes, I guess we're not green this time. But I also don't think anybody except Matthew Daly is allowed to pit here, so he's technically cleared his mandatory stop.
Oh. Masterclass?
It was all an elaborate ruse to enter the pit lane early, obviously. Yeah, nobody else crosses the pit line. Nobody else wants to pit.
Well, you're not allowed to pit on green, though.
Oh, because they're green. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, we're gonna go another time, and then I suddenly hear the cars are a lot louder than they were a minute ago, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and we're back racing.
That is, in spite of my complete obliviousness to the situation, we are in fact green. Oh, well, need to get off Cloud9.
Drive right around the outside of Liv.
Yeah, that's just a Radeon diff right there. Plus, he's getting a bit of slipstream from Jan Torres, so...
And also the GT3.
Yeah, it's been a combination of things. Oh, we didn't need those. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
They're all dead. They're just no more. They're not allowed. They weren't cautioning a darn thing. Oh boy, not again. AJ Knickel with another absolute travesty here at Spa. It's a good thing he has the championship locked up, so this means literally nothing, but it probably, it hurts his pride more than anything else.
Okay, did AJ and Dylan switch setup?
AJ's probably doing some setup experimentation now that he's got a spare week to spend. Data for next season, I suppose. Where you'll probably take the Merc again. Rules for thee, not for me. You know how that goes.
Yep.
As Jan Torres is making some new lines. Jan Torres makes a whole new line through Blanchimont to keep the lead away from Dylan. Carter Ritchie is looking to make a statement as he hasn't even had the first race.
And here they come. Here comes the drivers.
And that is it. Not even AJ's pitting in, he just spun. That would have been an opportune time for him to do so, but he's probably waiting for another safety car, let's be real. It's not exactly a low chance. Well, I mostly trust Dylan Bam. I don't really know if I trust him next to Jan Torres, but then there's, well...
I'm sorry, is that Carter Ritchie in third?
Yeah, I was in the middle of saying, he didn't even show up to the sprint race, and he didn't need the practice, apparently, as he's running, well, not net 3, or, what? He's not running net 3rd, he's running net 5th, but...
There's a special microphone.
Yeah, net 3 as opposed to net 0, or, you know, whatever else you can think of. As Dylan Bam has taken the lead while I was busy having an absolute stroke.
And the battle for the race lead is officially over, folks.
Unless Dylan Bam commits differential setup problems.
Unless that happens, he's gonna drop a gear and disappear.
And who even adjusts the differential anyways? Matthew Daly just kind of gets out of the way, or maybe just reinvents the whole corner of Fuhan to let his teammate go ahead.
I mean, Mark will do that because, well, he doesn't have to pit for the rest of the race.
Yeah, they're basically on this, well, as far as GT3 is concerned, separate strategies. As much of a different strategy as you can be on in a series where you don't have, you know, multiple tire compounds. I mean, you have multiple tire compounds in GT3, but, like, usually there's just the one tire that's just better, and that's it. And it's going to be the softs right now, because we're still in spring, and Belgium isn't exactly a heat wave country now, is it? Torres is trying his darndest to keep up pace with the Huracan, but the Lamborghini Spec 93 is out of here. There's more takers for the mandatory pit stop. And Carter Ritchie is electing to just not do that at all.
that clean air to his advantage.
Why aren't you pitting?
The switch up front end.
Oh, I didn't even notice. My brain just thought that's how that looked normally. Maybe that's why he went super wide in Puhan, because he didn't have any front aero left.
Well, and I believe Stock may got busted for something.
I saw in the race feed last second he has a time limits penalty, so that's 2 seconds. Torres just got the same thing. Track limits. I'm fairly certain I said that right. That's a good question, because it really doesn't seem like anybody has been in them all day, and yet now suddenly the game brings the hammer down, just out of nowhere. Luke Allen just said, "What is the rev limiter there?" There isn't one, except for, well, this is about to be one here. Drop the rear, disappear, one or the other. The same result, but not really the same outcome. I felt that last season when I drove it myself. This AJ just... Yeah, that's a weird pit entry. AJ is taking his mandatory. He looks like he might be the only one doing so this lap, as, yeah, Tarji passes and nobody else ahead of him did, so... They'll get used to it. We're only a few years away from the electric car mandate.
It sounds great when you're watching it, as when it just comes towards the camera and then disappears. But when you're driving it, and you're right at the red limiter.
Well, these two are awfully close. And we finally have something to look at other than just listen to the Lamborghini's engine note until the cows come home. Luke Allen already feeling the pressure.
Okay, how is he going to spin here? Is he going to spin on the forward, or will Scott give him the bunker?
Yeah, Belt already did.
Is that how this is going to...
Somebody will spin. Heads will roll. I thought that was about to be it right there. Something's gonna roll.
But these two keep battling. Who is behind them?
Who's that Pokemon? It's AJ. And Stotts will try on the outside of Stavlo 1. He stays there till the exit. Stavlo 2 is pretty hard to take on one lane, though, especially not when Luke Allen... Yeah, Luke Allen also meets him on the curb. Stotts couldn't be any wider there. The distant Mercedes noises. If the camera doesn't look at it, it can't hurt us. What the heck? It's like Luke just like got loose there. And
That's a racing line and that's a crossover.
crossover attack, but I don't know if Stotts will be able to convert much from where he's sitting right now.
And side by side off the corner.
And Luke still has the advantage.
And AJ just inching closer.
And here comes the weeping angel. Every time you look away, he's moving closer.
And here they go. Over Rouge. Down the straightaway.
Both trying to break their gearboxes the way they're revving those engines out by the sound of it. And Luke just defending this position for his, basically for his life, it seems like. At a certain point, I think Stotts will almost be forced to use the bumper because he'll eventually get it from AJ. He's going to try the outside of Bruxelles. That's not likely to work in any car, much less a GT3. Maybe in an F1 car, whose name is Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, understeer nearly turned. And no, he's not through yet. He's about to be, though, because Puhan is definitely one line. And AJ manages... That's not exactly who I thought he'd be passing first, I'm not gonna lie. But Stotts kinda oofed himself, and AJ picks up the pieces. Now he's on the back of Luke after punting him in the sprint race, I think. I have no idea.
Repaid the favor.
I highly doubt it, but it's hard to be sure. I don't know if he'll repay the favor. I don't think he'd even get a chance even if he wanted to. The speed difference coming out of Stavlo 2 just then. Can AJ hold it on the track? Well, he does when he clears Luke before we even get to the apex.
Will Luke keep it?
Well, anyone keep it. Track limits seem like a suggestion today. Call it the Stavlo suggestions. Oh, but AJ just gets a horrible exit out of that chicane. Luke will take it right back. Meanwhile, Carter Ritchie finally takes his mandatory pit stop. Where will he come out in regards to this battle? Stotts down the inside of both cars. Through goes Stotts. And buy one, get one free. But AJ's straight line speed just laughs in Stotts' face before we even get to Rouge.
Okay, what's stronger, the engine or the slipstream?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess in Slipstream. They're about breaking even at the moment, all three of them. Pretty much bumper to bumper to bumper. Stotts almost gives AJ the bumper in the middle of saying that. He had to kind of enter the corner weird to avoid it. I can't tell if Stotts was trying to dummy a move on AJ or if he was trying to defend from Luke, but AJ has understeered. And that still doesn't quite give a chance for Stotts. He can cut back though, especially when AJ misses the corner exit. And too wide through Puhan is always scary, so we'll see how this goes. I think AJ just concedes. Live to overtake him on the next lap, more or less. Luke's still there. Oh, Stotts is sideways, but he keeps the car pointed the right direction. If this battle continues a whole lot longer, Carter Ritchie is going to find himself back in it. And with the way that things have been going, I'm going to go ahead and guess that it will go on a bit longer. So... Oh my god, Stotts and Luke Allen are trying to reinvent the racetrack again. AJ's gonna have the run on the outside before we even get to the next corner. He will be clear. Stotts about keeps it on the racetrack, but I don't think he'll have a chance to try and take it back. No. So now it's time to see how much of an advantage has of the top two cars gained from, you know, not being a part of that battle for fourth place. Torres will emerge well ahead of our three-car battle.
Let's just take a look at the top three for a second. Dylan Bam, okay. Makes sense. We got Dan Torres in third.
But, well, Billy Targi isn't pit yet.
Yes, but for the time being, he is in P2.
Isn't saying a whole lot. What the heck did I miss? How did we get here?
Who's got damage?
Stotts does. And I think AJ might have the same, just based on context. When the camera wants to look at him, geez, I hate that about the trackside cams. Doesn't look like AJ's car has any damage, but Matthew Stotts' car looks like it went through a treadmill. Not over, through it.
Oh.
Stotts lets them both go. Luke Allen has made off like a bandit with fourth place after whatever happened.
And Dylan Bam is in the pit.
And, you know, because he has to. Nancy, that's not the racetrack. My guess is maybe Stotts, like, spun somewhere and AJ lost time avoiding him or something, and Luke had the time to react because he was behind them both. It's my best guess just based on the fact that I can't see any damage on AJ's car.
And meanwhile, as Dan Torres is on the front stretch, as Dylan is exiting the hairpin. And then he's coming in.
And he's finally gonna... Nancy's gotten her screen time, so...
Oh, who's retired their car? We're missing somebody.
I'm missing two people. Matthew Stotts is retired, that's one of them. Don't know who the other one was. Oh yeah, he retired earlier, kinda forgot.
That was about 5K like incidents years ago.
So with that, Targi emerges 8th. That's a very long pit stop.
After whatever happened, he stopped and anyway,
You're gonna...
still on track here, advancing to the top 10. With 9 cars on the lead lap.
You probably have time to get there, but as they always say, catching is one thing, passing's another. And with the way that Luke kept the defense up on Stotts for so long, he's obviously got something in the tank for when he's under threat.
Well, the Renaults are maintaining the corners, but this got no straight line speed. And since we're at Spa,
That's kind of important.
yeah, now I'm looking with Aces track.
Looking at the lap times, he gained just shy of 9/10 on Luke on that lap.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, Fidel Fabian is also getting pretty close to Carter Ritchie. That might also develop into a battle before the checkered flag flies. We'll just have to find out, I guess. That is kind of why we're here.
Yeah. That and we also just suck at driving.
Just makes me think of the old meme I watched a while ago, meme I saw a while ago. Just like two sarcastic teenage people in a movie. It's like something. This guy says to his girlfriend, "Have you ever watched a movie before? You watch it and my God, innovation. I'm innovating the English language. Have you ever seen a movie before? You watch it and information is revealed." He says that to his girlfriend, and I can only imagine that was an awkward ride home. Well, Carter Ritchie can miss the second half of the S's, and Fidel Fabian will just make that a formality. That wasn't even no contest on that.
Dylan has pulled away to a 9-second lead.
Yeah, AJ's basically there. He's gonna probably be at his doorstep by the end of the sector, basically.
Yep, we got 2 laps to go in the season.
Yeah, AJ gained by another 1.25 seconds on that lap, so I'm gonna go and assume that AJ's car is in fact not damaged, as I suspected. Carter Ritchie is also still in striking distance of Fidel Fabian, so if he catches that Mercedes in a mistake, then that can still develop into something else before the checkered flag. Everyone else is in kind of basically their own little island at this point. Seems like maybe perhaps Carter made a mistake going through Lake Home, as Fidel has escaped the clutches of the Acura. As my chair continues to make noises, that's not what you think it is. It is just my leather chair.
Okay, wait.
Well, I've heard the joke before. I've been told the line before. I'm just like, before anybody on the stream gets any funny ideas, that's me trying to lean back in my chair. Yeah, look, based off the lap split there, AJ kind of took his foot off the gas a tiny bit then. As Dylan Bam comes around to begin the final lap of the season, with the nearly 11-second lead in hand over Jan Torres.
Meanwhile, the battle for third is a battle for third.
Yeah, it's a battle, alright. Mm. Oh, tap. Luke Allen overcooked his braking zone. I think they both kind of did really, looking at that.
They both played chicken and they both lost.
The only way to win at chicken is to not play chicken. And Knickel is not all that close, so I don't really know if he's gonna get the pass done. It's clearly not going to be here. There's a Fidel in the distance. I want mass hysteria. I want mass destruction. This whole season has just kind of been like a manic roller coaster ride of why, God, why? That's like 75. AJ's there now. He's gonna have to get it done in the bus stop, or he can just... No, he can almost punt him off at the S's, but Luke manages to keep the Ferrari on the racetrack, and AJ doesn't take the place off of that. Not again, anyway, as he did basically do so in the sprint. I think we saw him park off to the side though to let Luke catch up. But then one more attempt. Dylan Bam is going to take a commanding victory. Kind of makes you wonder if only if he'd been doing this the whole season, he might have had a championship battle on our hands.
Now let's go to the battle for third.
Jan Torres is the distant second. And we'll see if AJ Knickel can convert on the outside. Yeah, no, that's not enough. And a bit of a bobble out of the final turn for good measure. Luke Allen gets a podium. Torres is doing donuts to celebrate a race where he didn't mess up. And Luke is just kind of cruising. AJ is just off into the distance. You are all cowards. Well, it can also break the whole game. AJ is... What's this camera for? What the heck? I feel like that's a camera specifically put there for cars that crash in Eau Rouge.
I think it is. Taylor, we broke it.
Yeah, that's programmed there every time I go back to him, so that's an intentional camera. And that will do it for the... I don't know how AJ got that 32-second penalty, but here we are. Generally speaking, 30-second pens don't stick, so he's actually fourth. Funny that a 30-second penalty only loses him 2 places. Speaks to how spread out this race was at the end. But that will do it for the ARC GT3 Championship. With AJ as your... Yeah, yeah. Actually, no, we will, right, because you said you weren't running Hockenheim. AJ is your definitive champion, undisputed, if you will. Dylan Baum finally gets a weekend sweep, but it's too little too late. And Torres and Allen with shock podiums to close off the season. But until the historic F1 championship begins next week, that'll do it from Richter Lummel and Logan Not So Uncool. Until Rallycross, goodbye.